Hey guys, so I was in a Zoom coaching session with a client last week, and he asked me a very poignant question. He asked me whether men should be, in general, lowering their standards to get better with women. Now, I know this is a very sensitive topic for a lot of men for a variety of reasons, but I think it's important to discuss because there are some very clear trends I've noticed around men's standards and success with women that I've been seeing right from the beginning of my early days in the attraction community, like 18 years ago, and hasn't changed one little bit in all that time. In short, 90% of the men I know who have a huge amount of sexual success with attractive women all follow the same strategy regarding standards with women. So, today I want to talk about should men be lowering or raising standards with women to get the best results possible. So, for the sake of this video, when I say success with women, I'm referring only to having sexual intercourse with them. This is not what success means for all men. This isn't even what success means for me anymore at 39. But it is considered success for many men watching. And there's nothing wrong with that. Most men want to feel sexually desirable and go through at least one period in their lives where they have sexual variety. I know this was a big deal for me once upon a time. The men that I know who have the most sexual success with women have elastic aesthetic standards for women. I want to say that again. The men I know, in fact, almost all the men I've ever known who have the most sexual success with women have elastic aesthetic standards for women. What does this look like in practice? So if those men have plenty of choices for women, then they maintain really high standards for how they look. If conditions change and those men have fewer options, then they happily lower the standards for how hot the woman should be with a mindset of having fun with a very average looking woman is still a lot more enjoyable than having fun all on your own. And I'll throw myself into this group as well. When sex was my primary goal, so long as I wasn't disgusted by a woman, I'd be capable of having fun with her. And if I had lots of options, then I'd be sleeping with stunning women. If I didn't, because, for example, I was just recently single and ramping back up in social skills, then I'd be sleeping with more average women. And the kicker is, I'm not sure I ever would have gotten as successful as I was if I just maintained a constantly high set of standards for how women should look. But this idea often feels very distasteful to many men, and I think this is the core of what needs discussing today. So let's get to the elephant in the room first, because this deserves attention. Shame. Have you ever been using Tinder and had a woman you consider very unattractive swipe right on you, and that's made you annoyed, maybe even angry? Because I see this happen a lot. Men can get quite upset about this. But have you stopped to think about why? I mean, what's offensive about a woman thinking that you're attractive, regardless of how she herself looks? We as men tend to judge each other very harshly based on the attractiveness of the women we're sexually involved with. In fact, it's pretty normal for friends to tease each other to the point of public humiliation or shame if one of them sleeps with an unattractive woman. The problem with this is that shame is toxic. It doesn't help us in any way, shape, or form. So you slept with an overweight woman. She wasn't ideally attractive to your mind, but you were turned on enough to get it up and have sex. So who the hell cares? I'm willing to bet you secretly enjoyed yourself at the time. So why do you feel bad about it? But this shame becomes internalized. So many men I've worked with have shame autopilot when it comes to how women look. So when an unattractive woman likes them, their shame autopilot kicks in, and you want to distance yourself from a potential source of shame as quickly and violently as possible. Cue the moral outrage that this woman should think she has a chance with me. Now, for sure, I'll sometimes see a woman that is so unattractive to me that the thought of being sexual with her is genuinely disgusting. Other times, I'll see women who I just cannot possibly feel anything sexual for at all because there's nothing at all that triggers sexual switches. And that's perfectly reasonable. But many women have something a bit sexy about them. even if they're visually quite average. And I don't have bad taste in women, I'm just not being governed by shame. But for so many guys, unless their mates would wholeheartedly approve, they go into subconscious or fully conscious shame spirals at the thought of flirting with a woman who isn't ideal. So why does this hurt so many guys' progress? Because you rob yourselves of having genuine fun with women. You rob yourselves of building sexual experience. You allow yourself to sit in a scarcity headspace with women, which is super hard to lose if you really are experiencing scarcity. You rob yourself of feeling sexually desired. You rob yourself of the confidence gained. You stay thirsty and unsatisfied. And I might add, using this shame-based mindset around women is a big part of what causes guys to objectify women in the first place. Because the shame leads to the objectification. And that's never healthy for us in the long term mentally. If a set of identical twins decide to do my weekend boot camp in Sydney, and twin 1 says, I'm only going to approach women who I think are at 8 out of 10 or above. And twin 2 says, I'm going to approach any woman I think is at all attractive. If both twins have exactly the same confidence levels and insecurity around attractive women as each other, what do we expect to see? Twin 1 will start approaching women, and his insecurity and self-value issues will come up inevitably. Those women are going to feel his neediness and insecurity. Also, he's up against lots more competition in the marketplace, and his limited charm at this point in the course aren't up to the level required. So he experiences quite a bit of failure, but he perseveres like a champ anyway. And twin 2 will start approaching less intimidating women. Women he feels socially more comfortable flirting with. Maybe even women he feels quite certain he's more attractive than. Because of this different psychology going on inside, these women are instantly going to be more friendly with him, more receptive. There will also be less competition from high-value men. So right from the start, twin 2 is far more likely to at least be getting phone numbers. When twin 1 and 2 walk away from a first night coaching session, sure, twin 2 hasn't been talking to women as ideally attractive as he'd like, but is walking away feeling much more accomplished. His ego is generally boosted. Twin 1, on the other hand, is copping an emotional beating, with most of the rejections reinforcing his deep fear that he's not good enough. After a full weekend of this, twin 2 may have had enough social reinforcement from women that he feels completely comfortable and entitled to be talking to women who are 8 out of 10 from his reference point. Meanwhile, twin 1 could easily feel frustrated because he's only gotten one phone number the whole weekend. Because twin 2 now feels much more self-assured, he's a bit cockier as well. He's willing to take social chances and doesn't put those 8 out of 10 women on a pedestal, so they're responding better to him than they ever did to twin 1. So look, what's the point of this video? There's no single journey to getting better with women. I'm not telling you that you have to lower your standards or you'll forever be single. I don't want you to have sex with someone you struggle to be turned on by. I just want to seed the idea in your minds that judging each other or yourself for the attractiveness of a woman you have sex with is highly counterproductive and helps absolutely nobody. If you catch yourself on auto shame based on a woman's looks, catch yourself out and try to let go of it. Most men who really do have lots of success with the women you idealize don't judge you or themselves for that matter, because most of them got there by not caring in the first place. Your success in life isn't governed by the hotness of women you sleep with. It's governed by how much you enjoy life. You enjoy life by giving fewer damns for how others think of you. You enjoy life by indulging a little hedonism from time to time. And I'll tell you one thing now. The most mind-blowing sexual experiences I've had in my life weren't with the hottest women I've slept with. And two of the worst sexual experiences I've ever had were with 2 of the top 5 hottest women I've ever been with. So my happiness with my sex life would have been far lower if I limited myself to the hottest women I could possibly find. So if you can find it in yourselves to just focus on having fun, and if that fun is sexual and you're capable of getting aroused by a woman, forget what your friends may think. Let go of that bullcrap. Just enjoy life. I promise that's the fastest path to the high self-esteem and confidence with more attractive women anyway. I'm sure plenty of you have something to say in the comments, and I look forward to reading your thoughts. As always, if you just want to insult me, I'm not going to bother. If you take the time to come up with a rational argument why you think I'm wrong, I'm more than happy to debate it. In fact, I love those comments. As always, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you in my future ones.